Yo, what's up? So quick update. This will just be a quick like 5 minute stream. I want to update you on a couple of things. I'm working on bidding on a couple of flips. The only reason I'm doing flips, I know this is supposed to be a wholesale challenge, is what I noted. I want to have this balance of like quick cash with wholesale deals, long term stuff, and then also some midterm things that take 3, 4 months but are going to be big pops. And I'll show you kind of some of the numbers that I'm working on with one right now. This These numbers are just super conservative. This is at the price point that the wholesaler has it at. I'm actually going to try and bid this a little bit lower. But as you can see, like with some pretty conservative numbers here, I'll zoom in on this calculator real quick for you. I'm at a 387 purchase price, 525 ARV, which I think is a little bit low for this actual property. I'm being conservative with these numbers to kind of reduce my risk on it. But I'm looking at a 4 month hold time. It's a pretty clean property, so like it's not a ton on rehab, about 40K in rehab. Holding cost $600 over 4 months. Buying cost about $7,000. I have seller concessions baked in here just with interest rates. One of my buddies told me that I should bake in seller concessions in my numbers because usually I'll have to give out some concessions to sellers. If I don't have to, great. I can put another $10,000 in profit on this. But this is an 8% ROI deal. It's not a huge rip, but 40 grand helps. And it'll take 3 or 4 months. I'm gonna have no money into this deal. I'm just lining up hard money, private money on a property that needs a pretty light rehab, like nothing crazy. So it should be turn and burn like in 2 to 3 months. Realistically, most of the time is just me trying to get it sold. The rehab should only take 3 to 4 weeks maybe on it. Based off of the crew that I'm working with. So I like having this play here because this is one of those that like, yes, there's some management that I have to do with like the crews. I have a guy, this isn't the actual address of it by the way, so these numbers are completely different. I just copied this. This is another deal that I underwrote. But $40,000 to put in the pipeline to come in 4 months, that's probably going to help just build that pipeline value on top of the wholesale stuff. So I like looking for some of these flips because I have access to private money, I have the hard money connections, I have the crews. And here in the Valley, if I can find deals where I'm doing 40, 50, 60, 80 grand on some of these, I want to tackle some of these opportunities while I can. Because as an investor, I don't want to be a one strategy person. Like I don't only want to do wholesales. I don't only want to buy rentals. I don't only want to do flips. I want to be as diversified as possible because in this economy, I'm just looking for opportunities. So on this deal, if I make conservatively on the low end, I make 40 grand. Realistically, I'll probably end up making like 50 or 60 grand on this one. But if I make 40 grand on this one in 4 months, I'd say that's a pretty good return on the time that I have. The reason why I'm starting to do more, I'm looking at doing flips is ultimately with the off-market deals, I can make a much better ROI flipping the deals myself. So if I go off market and I have to, buy at a discount, sell to an investor, collect the assignment, yeah, I'll make 10, 15, 20, 30, occasionally 40, 50, 80 grand on some of these wholesale deals, depending on how deep I discount them. But I'll get this, like my average on a flip will be 50, 60 grand. So if I'm the end buyer at the end of the day and I can buy it at the numbers that I know make sense for me, I'm going to make significantly more money on each lead, a better ROI for my leads. It'll take me 3 or 4 months, so that's why I want to blend in wholesales with flips, because if I have the wholesales that are coming in short term, 10, 15, 20 grands, then I'm doing 40, 60, 70, 80 grand flips, and then I'm starting to take that, put that into rentals. Now I have this balanced portfolio where I'm building the long term, which is ultimately why I'm getting into this. I'm making big pops on the flips because I'm the in cash buyer. I basically am just going to cherry pick the best deals, and that's where I'm going to make, my whale size profits. What people make an entire year on one deal. And if I'm doing 2 or 3 of those a month, just if we back out and look at the numbers, let's say I'm doing 5 wholesale deals a month at 15K. I'm doing 2 to 3 flips a month at 40, 50 grand average profit. And each month I'm buying a rental on the back end of those flips. So let's say each flip I buy, I'm buying a new rental property. I'm not buying one of the ones that I flipped. I'm going to go buy like a brand new built house in a good location with lots of appreciation. Most likely through my job that I do right now, they have a fund that I can go buy in, or I can actually buy deals with the company. And it's like 50 to 90 grand to get into those deals, and they have very specific criteria to maximize ROIs. Start baking in some of that long-term cash. I think if I do this right over 6 months, over a year, over 2 years, I'll have a nice portfolio of 25, 30 homes, all doing 25% ROIs. I'll have $1 million coming from flipping and wholesaling net to me that I'll be dumping into that, on top of doing what I love at work anyway. So I'll have all my daily stuff taken care of, and I'll be building all my long-term stuff. It just seems like a great situation. Now, this is all hypothetical. Like, this is going to take some work to get there. But I think putting these things in place is how I'm ultimately going to get to a position where I think everyone wants to get, which is FU money. Like, I have enough money where I can decide what I want to do, when I want to do it, who I want to do it with, and I can tell anybody no at any time, because I can just, hey, I'm just going to go do my own thing. You don't want to give me hard money? F you, I'll go do it on my own. I don't have the money for the flip? F you, I'll just use my own money. I want to go on a trip? I don't have to ask anyone for time off. That's the ultimate end goal. Right now, I love what I'm doing for work, so like I'll go give my time to my job, and then I'll keep building, this on the side time. So that's something I'm working on. I think I got 3 leads today. Let's see. I worked a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leads today that I had conversations with or moved in the automation, and then I had 3 leads come in today. One of them was a lady looking to buy a house, so I'll have to adjust the PPC campaigns from there. Just to give an update on the PPC campaigns, our conversions still aren't reporting. But if I just zoom out, I'll show you, like, for the last 7 days. Last 7 days, we spent $600, and let me pull. I'm gonna pull my PPC sheet up that has the info on it in another page, so Google doesn't get mad at me for sharing contact here. Froze for a quick second. So let me pop in. Okay, so I'm at 13 leads so far. From this, so yeah, it's $600 in spend for 13 leads. What does that put us at per lead? Struggling with math right now. So 617 divided by 13. So we're at $47 a lead right now. Gotten in touch with, I think, 5 or 6 of those. I have 4 offers out today. 2 are going to be novations, actually. They're nicer houses that don't need a ton of repairs. So wholesale doesn't make sense. The cash offer was just too low for the seller, and they were wanting something more. So I offered a novation price. Computer here, so hopefully it'll help out with the streaming issues. So yeah, all in all, $47 a lead, not too bad. I'll keep working this. Again, I need to get my top 50 agents set up so I can go get more money for marketing, because we're at $100 a day right now. We definitely are going to want to scale that a lot larger, because lead flow is good right now, but we need to be at like 20 leads a day to really start making a dent and catch up to Stratton. 3 to 5 leads a day just isn't going to do it, just based off of wholesale numbers. So that's where I'm at KPI wise. Talked about adding in fast, slow, and medium term money with the flips. The last thing I want to talk about, for those of you that are following me that are also doing this as a 9 to 5, one of the things that is super important to me is keeping a good balance between what I'm doing at work and the side hustle. It's very, very easy and it's seductive to get pulled into doing your side hustle stuff while you're working. What I'm doing is I'm creating a schedule that I want to stay dedicated to on when I'm going to do side hustle stuff, when I'm going to do work stuff. So for you, it just depends on if you're a morning person or an evening person or what the needs of the business are. For some of you, that's going to mean, hey, you wake up in the morning and you do calls. Like, I'm doing stuff in Florida, so waking up in the morning, 4 o'clock here for me is 7 o'clock in Florida. That's probably an okay time to call. From like 4 to 8 Arizona time, that's probably gonna be my best time to call. and talk with sellers. Um, the evenings aren't going to work out too much because 5 is already 7, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. I'll get in touch with some people, but not with everyone. And then also during lunch breaks. So I'm creating these blocks of time to where I can focus in on the side hustle stuff and not take away with what I'm doing with the job. Because the last thing that I want to do is risk what I'm doing day to day in my job, hurt my performance, hurt the projects that I'm working on there, and put myself at risk of losing that job because I'm too focused on the side hustle that right now technically is not making me any money. So I want to be very, very cautious with how I balance my time to make sure that I can still get the result from the side hustle stuff, still continue to. So it's super important that you create these dedicated schedules. So super important that you create these dedicated schedules to make sure you can balance the two. Let's say I need to turn down like my video settings or something. Let's see if that helps. If I go to medium, so it's not quite 4K. So yeah, basically, I mean, the gist of it is like plan out what you need to do. The best way that I found to do this for the side hustle people, that's tiny. Let's make this bigger. For side hustle people is before the day starts. Man, that is. Before the day starts, what I recommend doing is mapping out, hey, this is what I need to do on my side hustle stuff. So you know, like, hey, here's the top 3 things that I need to achieve. Because it's really easy to play business versus doing business. Map out your to-dos for the side hustle, and then map out when you're going to do them. Like, I mapped out my 3 things, and I'm just dedicated to focusing on those. And then from 5 to 9, or whenever you're doing your stuff on the side, after work, you're dedicated to those things. But if you get in there and you wander, you're not going to make as much progress as you want, and you're also going to let it bleed into your stuff that you're doing at work. You're going to check your phone, you're going to check your stats, you're going to be in here trying to call leads, you're going to be playing in the CRM, you're going to be trying to play with data. Things are going to come up and it's going to get in the way. I just know it because I've gone through it. So to help you safeguard against that, map out what your to-dos are, dedicate when you're going to do those, and then just execute on them when that time comes. So that's my update for now. Making some progress, got some more offers out, getting in touch with leads, going to ramp up lead flow, dedicating the times for the things that I have coming up. And then I have waiting to get a contract for a flip here in Phoenix that I'm going to be doing that should net me about 40, 50K on the low end, but most likely it'll be about a 50 to 60K flip that will turn in 4 months. So that'll be August timeframe, a little 40K check to get things rolling for us on the medium term money. I think Chris Root is the one that pioneered that. It's like fast money, medium, long term. You want to be playing in all 3 as a real estate investor, and that's where that advice comes from for me, but also from Ryan Fletcher's partner program. He does the biggest ROIs because he's the end buyer for his deals. He can negotiate the better terms, but he can get them at a deep enough discount. So that's why he can do, 80 grand pops, 100 grand pops on some of his flips, because he owns the deal from the start and he's not having to pay assignment fees or play this negotiation game back and forth. He can get it at the number that makes sense for him. So it helps him, but it also helps the seller too as well, because the seller is able to get the most amount of money for their property because it's going directly to the end buyer. And we know what numbers we need to hit at, and we don't necessarily need to go for the jugular in terms of discounts on some of these properties. So it's a win-win for the seller. It's a win-win for us because we can hit our numbers, the metrics that we want. Plus, we don't have to play this negotiation game. So that's my update for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna try and do some live seller calls. I had a couple of calls that I did today. I just wasn't able to stream them because it was during a lunch break, a little chaotic. So if you guys are enjoying this, make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend to come join this if they're also doing wholesaling or real estate investing on the side. Come check out the streams. Go back and watch day 1 through whatever we're on day 15 now. So all the days. I'm going to be chopping up some of these streams and creating them as short form content. So for some of you that just want to see the nuggets, when I have time, I'm just going to chop up the little nuggets, create those as shorts on TikTok, eventually Instagram and YouTube for now. So check those shorts out. Let me know what other content you guys like to see. Any resources that you need, just message me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to reply to most of the comments. Message me on Instagram, anything that you need. I'm an open book. I'm happy to help you, point you in the right direction, give you resources, tools, whatever you need to join me along in this journey. Just reach out. If you have questions, let me know. I'm an open book, happy to help you. That's why I'm documenting all of this. For you out there that are following along, doing the same thing that I'm doing, I want to give you all the tools and resources to follow along with me. So anything that I can do to help you out, reach out.